friend of mine's mom asked me if I thought about teaching and asked me if I wanted to teach fifth grade. And I said, hey, I'll give it a shot. Right. And then the rest was history. I knew that that's what I wanted to do. I am a passionate leader and educator and advocate who is committed to students in the community in which I serve. So I think one of the things that I learned as a teacher, a first-year teacher and a first-year administrator, was perseverance and persistence, recognizing that we're not all finished products, and I just taking one day at a time. As we say here at Mills Parole, we just keep swimming. During the days that were tough, as a first-year principal and as a first-year teacher, you have to develop and you have to be reflective and you have to know where you are in your growth and in your journey. And I think that's something that really served me well as a first-year teacher, is constantly reflecting on how I can do better. And the same thing applies to being a first-year principal. It's what can I do to be better for my students, my staff, and my community. Oh, my teaching staff is wonderful. They are passionate, they are committed, and I also want to say they are very knowledgeable and they have great expertise and talent, because without them, Mills Parole would not be where it is now without the talents and the contributions of my staff, and I'm very grateful for them. I think one thing that we put in place is we've implemented and put in place a lot of supports, social emotional supports for kids. We're trying to move away from a punitive mindset with students. Of course, students need consequences, but we want to rethink what consequences mean and rethink our punitive measures. Now, not to say that students don't have consequences, but and at first, it is a challenge to bring and shift that mindset. Because sometimes some are interested in justice and consequence, and that'll teach you to not do that again. But a lot of times it's not that way. So just rethinking how we approach the social and emotional supports for our students. Yeah, so I have, one of my fondest memories was having my grandmother and my grandfather and my mother to visit my classroom when I was a first-year teacher and sat in the back of my classroom while I taught. That was a very emotional experience for me and a very gratifying experience for me. I have a number of colleagues who have become personal friends of mine that I've met as a teacher, as a leader, and some of which are at the event today, who have helped me, who have counseled me, who have picked up the phone whenever I call, or who have given me encouragement. So thinking of those people that I'm very grateful for, when all else and maybe some others were not as supportive, they stuck with me, and I'm very grateful and appreciative of that. It was challenging, one challenge is that when I was assigned to Mills Parole Elementary School, was in the midst of a pandemic. So I came to Mills Parole in the summer of 2020, and had not met the staff in person. Many of our meetings at the beginning of the year were virtual, and people had masks when they returned, and it was very difficult for me to know who they were. So it's helped me to build relationships. It's helped me to be transparent when we're talking about student and staff safety in terms of COVID-19 protocols and safety measures. It's also helped to build a coalition and to build stakeholders and get people to trust you in the midst of something that has been unprecedented. So it was a challenge, but I think, and again, it's not all me. A lot of my staff, my assistant principal at the time, my teachers, my support staff, they were all there and they were a part of it. I'm most excited in the process of rethinking what public education looks like and doing something different with some of the initiatives that our school system is thinking of undertaking. I'm in full support of it in giving our students a unique experience, something different and something we hope that will work. So I'm really excited about what's in front of us. Wow. I think, well, I used to be a DJ, and some say, well, once a DJ, always a DJ. But I was pretty nice on the turntables at one time. So I was a DJ, I loved to dance, and oh, I also fish. I like to get out and go fishing as often as I possibly can. That's my happy place, my place of solace. So. That's a good question. I think that I will include with the song that we'll sing. We're halfway there. We're living on a prayer. So take my hand. We'll make it. I swear. So that's just me letting people know to trust me, and that we can get to where we want to go. You got to have the passion to want to make a difference. And going along with one of the responses that I said before, you got to stay at it. It's like any other craft. It's hard. It's hard, but it's very fulfilling. So one could say, that which is hard is worth doing. I think kids need it. Kids need dedicated teachers from all backgrounds and diverse and all diverse backgrounds. So I think the passion in wanting to make a difference and being able to actually stick with it, because we're in difficult times, but we need people that can manage difficult times. So I would say if you want to make a difference, when you want something that's very rewarding, then teaching is for you. Thank you for the honor.